Biodiversity, Biology by Hassan Malik. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity means a variety of all life forms on Earth, like different plants, animals, and microorganisms. For example, rainforest has high biodiversity with tons of unique animals like jaguars, toucans, and colorful frogs, all living together in one place. How biodiversity works? Biodiversity works like a balanced web where each species depends on others for survival, keeping ecosystems healthy. For example, in a forest, plants produce oxygen and food, herbivores eat plants, and predators like wolves keep the herbivore population in check so nothing grows out of control. Why biodiversity is important? Biodiversity is important because it keeps ecosystems stable and provides us with essentials like clean air, water, and food. For instance, bees pollinate crops that give us fruits and vegetables, showing how even small species help us survive. Types of biodiversity. There are three main types of biodiversity: genetic, species, and ecosystem diversity. For example, genetic diversity is seen in different dog breeds. Species diversity includes lions and zebras in the savanna, and ecosystem diversity covers different environments like deserts and oceans. Food chain. A food chain shows how energy moves from one living thing to another, starting with plants and ending with top predators. For example, grass absorbs sunlight, rabbits eat grass, foxes eat rabbits, and then larger predators like eagles might eat fox. Threats to biodiversity. The biggest threats to biodiversity are habitat loss, pollution, climate change, and invasive species. For instance, deforestation removes homes for animals like orangutans, making it hard for them to survive and leading to fewer species in that area. Endangered species. Endangered species are animals or plants at high risk of becoming extinct, mainly due to human activities. For example, tigers, pandas, and elephants are endangered because of habitat loss and poaching, meaning their populations are shrinking quickly in the wild. Classification of living organisms. The classification of living organisms, also known as taxonomy, organizes life into a structured hierarchy, helping scientists understand evolutionary relationships and biodiversity. Domain. The broadest level dividing life into three domains. Bacteria, single-celled prokaryotes without a nucleus found almost everywhere. Archaea, single-celled prokaryotes distant from bacteria, often found in extreme environments. Eukarya, organisms with cells containing a nucleus, including plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Kingdom. Under each domain, organisms are grouped into five kingdoms: Animalia, multicellular type, typically mobile organisms that consume organic material; Plantae, multicellular photosynthetic organisms mainly producing oxygen; Fungi, organisms that absorb nutrients from their environment, including mushrooms, mold, and yeast; Protists, mostly unicellular organisms that don't fit into other kingdoms like algae and amphibia; Monera. Earlier included all parasitic organisms but is now often split into bacteria, archaeodomains. Phylum. Phylum is a major category in the classification system that groups organisms based on their body structure and organization. Animal phyla, Plantae phyla, fungi phyla, and protist phyla. For example, vertebrates including humans, dogs, and birds belong to the phylum Chordata because they all have a backbone. Class. A class is a level of classification within a phylum that groups organisms with even more specific similarities. Mammalia, aves, reptilia, amphibia, and octopterygale. For example, within the phylum Chordata, mammals like humans and elephants belong to the class Mammalia because they have mammary glands and fur or hair. Order is a classification level within a class that groups related families of organisms, mammals, reptiles, birds, insects, and plants. For instance, humans belong to the order of primates, which includes monkeys and apes, all of which share traits like flexible limbs and face-forwarding eyes. Family. A family is a classification level within an order that groups closely related species. For example, humans belong to the family Homidia, which includes other great apes like chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, all known for their larger brains and complex behaviors. Genus. A genus is a classification level that groups species with very similar traits, often sharing a recent common ancestor. For wolves, the genus is Canis, which groups them with other closely related animals like domestic dogs and coyotes. This means they share similar characteristics like their body structure and behaviors and evolved from a common ancestor. Species. A species is the most specific classification level grouping organisms that can reproduce and have similar traits. For a cat, the species Felis catus, which includes all domestic cats. This species belongs to the genus Felis, which groups it with similar animals like wildcat, showing that domestic cats share a close evolutionary link with some wild feline relatives. Humans. Domain Eukarya, Kingdom Animalia, Phylum Chordata, Class Mammalia, Order Primates, Family Homidia, Genus Homo, Species Homo sapiens. Humans. Aims and principles. Classification aims to organize organisms based on evolutionary relationships, making it easier to study and understand biodiversity. Historically, Aristotle began basic groupings, but Carl Linnaeus later developed a structured system in 1700s with a binomial nomenclature. Today, classification focuses on an evolutionary ancestors history and uses a hierarchical structure to reflect species relationships, enabling predictions. Islamic golden age of science. Abu Usman Omar al-Jahi describes abnormal behaviors, adaptation, survival, and Kitab al-Haywan, introducing early ideas on natural selection. His observations about predator-prey relationships and species change laid groundwork for evolutionary biology. Two kingdoms versus five kingdoms. The two kingdom system classifies life into Animalia and Plantia, focusing mainly on observable traits. In contrast, the five kingdom system includes fungi, protista, and Monera, providing a more detailed view of life's diversity. Why virus is unique? Viruses are excluded from the five kingdoms because they are not considered living organisms. They cannot reproduce or carry out metabolic processes on their own, and says they rely on host cells to replicate, making them fundamentally different from the other life forms classified in the five kingdom system. Binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is a system for naming species using two Latin terms. The first term indicates the genus and the second species specifies the species. Conservation of biodiversity. The conservation of biodiversity aims to protect and preserve the variety of life on Earth to maintain ecosystem balance and ensure resource sustainability. Strategies include creating protected areas, restoring habitats, and promoting sustainable practices to safeguard endangered species and their environments. Quran and biodiversity. There are more than 200 verses in the Quran about animals, and 6 chapters of the Quran are named after the animals/insects. Quran and biodiversity. There are 31 animals mentioned in the Quran, namely. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.